Hello everybody, in today's video we're going to be going over a warmer pattern which is going to be taking place over the western and central part of the country and then along the eastern United States. That's where we're going to be dealing with some colder than normal temperatures. We're going to be breaking down this pattern for you guys and giving you all the information you need to know, so make sure you are staying tuned all the way until the end so you don't miss out on any of this information. Here's what the current National Weather Service page looks like. As you can see, we have a few excessive heat watches in parts of California, Utah, and Colorado, with some excessive heat warnings in parts of California, Nevada, and also into much of Arizona. We have a few heat advisories in that orange color for Nevada, also into New Mexico, and into southern Texas. And other than that, we don't have many other watches or warnings currently in place. Yesterday, we had a high temperature of 116 degrees Fahrenheit at Rio Grande Village, Texas, and we had a low temperature in Copper Basin, Idaho, where they got down to 12 degrees Fahrenheit. The highest rainfall or precipitation report was in Nethers, Virginia, where they got 6.67 inches of rainfall, mostly in higher terrain, where they got around an inch or two higher than the lower terrain, but still anywhere over the mid-Atlantic area and even into parts of the Ohio Valley got a lot of rainfall yesterday. They got a couple of inches of rainfall. And again, some of those higher elevation regions got a little bit more, as you can see in parts of western Virginia. So here's what the temperature anomaly map looks like, and basically how to read this would be anywhere kind of in those blues or greens, which you can see, for example, in parts of eastern Canada, is where we're dealing with below normal temperatures. And then if you were to look at those oranges, the reds, and also the brownish colors, that's where we're dealing with above normal temperatures or warmer than normal temperatures. So that's where it's going to be a little bit on the warmer side of things. So here would be for Sunday or tomorrow, and you can see that we have warmer than normal temperatures all throughout the western, central, and even parts of the eastern United States, away from the immediate east coast along the southeast and mid-Atlantic. But the rest of the country is expected to be above normal by tomorrow afternoon. Here to be by Monday, and something that you want to take note of is how above normal it will be in the northern plains. For example, even higher elevation regions that are getting up near 8 to 10,000 feet or higher in elevation could have high temperatures reaching 70 to 80 degrees. So these are going to be really, really warm days, even for the higher elevation regions. Lower elevations could be getting up to near 100, 105, maybe even a little bit higher than that in a few of these regions. So it's going to be really, really warm, especially over eastern Montana and parts of Wyoming as well, and some of the surrounding areas. We will have probably a lot of snow melt, especially parts of Wyoming and western Montana, as well as parts of, I would assume, the mountains in central and northern Idaho as well. So we will most likely have some snow melt, and that could cause some flash flooding issues, especially if you're downstream of the mountains. So we might have a few flooding concerns. It doesn't look like it'll be a huge deal. The bigger deal would be, of course, the extreme heat that we're going to be dealing with over the next couple of days, and this is only the middle part of June, so we're not even that far into the summer, and we're already dealing with these really, really warm days. Here to be by Tuesday, and you can see that it's even warmer in parts of Montana. We're even reaching near 16 to 20 degrees Celsius above normal, which would be around 25 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit above normal. So these are really, really above normal temperatures here, and these are going to be causing potentially again some snow melt, but more immediate, some of those really extreme temperatures that could cause some issues, especially if you're out in the sun a lot on Monday and Tuesday, especially. So try and stay indoors a little bit more on Monday and Tuesday just to get out of the heat, because it will be really, really warm in those areas. You can see it stays warm in many of these areas. So by Wednesday, you're catching a break if you live in the northern Rockies or the northwest. But if you live in the northern plains and then into the southwest, that's where you're dealing with those fairly above normal temperatures and warmer than normal temperatures. If you live along the eastern United States, we will have some below normal temperatures. So you will finally get into a cooler pattern. And this will actually be quite a nice pattern, because temperatures will still be into the 70s and low 80s. They just won't be into the 90s and 100 degree plus temperatures, where it starts to feel a little bit more uncomfortable outside. So Even though it does look below normal, it will actually be quite pleasant along the eastern United States. It's as you get further west that we're going to be dealing with more comfortable and warm temperatures. Here to be by Thursday, and you can see that we have in the southwest, the Rockies, and then into the northern plains, still some above normal temperatures. So this is going to be probably throughout the middle and later part of the week when we start to warm up a little bit more, especially for areas further to the east. And then if we go to Friday, you can see that most of the warmer temperatures are centered along the west coast and the western United States in general. But it's as you get into the central part of the country and into parts of the Great Lakes and Northeast where we do also start to get a little bit of a warm up. We still do have a few patches of below normal temperatures, however, and then by Saturday of next week, you can see that we have still some above normal temperatures through parts of the Rockies in the west, and then we have below normal temperatures through the central and eastern part of the country, with the exception of the mid-Atlantic and northeast coast, where we might stay a little bit above normal in those areas. So let's look at the actual temperatures, because these are going to be really warm, and one area that I want you to focus on is going to be right in here, because these areas in Southern California, Southern Nevada, and Southern Arizona will be really, really warm, getting even up near 125 degrees Fahrenheit. So these are going to be really warm temperatures throughout these regions, but in general, even into the northern plains, the central plains, the Rockies, all of these areas will be dealing with rather above normal temperatures and rather warm temperatures. So by Sunday, you can see that we have temperatures nearing 105 to 110 degrees in parts of Arizona and California. And that's indicated by those pink colors, which again signify 105 to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. We have temperatures all above 90 degrees, anywhere where you're in that gray color. So that covers pretty much the entire central part of the country, and even back into the west as well. If we go to if we go to Monday, you can see that it warms up even more through the west. So now in parts of Montana and Wyoming, again, like I was saying, even 8,000, 10,000 feet up in the higher elevations, we're getting up into the 70s in many of these areas. Maybe at the very tippy top of the mountains, we are dealing with some 60s, but it will be very, very warm nonetheless in many of these areas compared to normal, where we would normally have daytime highs getting into the 50s, maybe low 60s. Now we're getting into the mid and upper 70s in some of these areas. And the lower elevations, again, are getting up above 100 degrees in these areas. So this is going to be a really warm pattern for many of you guys, especially if you live in the desert southwest, where we have temperatures on Monday, which are expected to get up near 115 degrees or even higher in a few of those locations. You can see the cooler temperatures if you live in the northeast or the Great Lakes, where we have temperatures only getting up into the 60s and 70s, with those 80s further to the south. Here to be by Tuesday, and you can see very, very warm all throughout the west, except for the higher terrain. That's where you can see a little bit of a cooler area. But anywhere else, we're dealing with temperatures that are getting up above 90, above 100 degrees over most of those areas. And if you live in parts of Montana, Wyoming, Arizona, Nevada, or California, we could even have a few areas that are getting above 100, maybe even nearing 110. And in the case of the desert Southwest, maybe even nearing 120 degrees. So these are really warm temperatures. You can see the effects of that cool down in the eastern United States, where you have some of those below normal temperatures only getting into the 70s and maybe low 80s, but still will be manageable. We're not going to be dealing with anything that's going to be that cold or too cold in many of these areas, so it's not going to be anything too major. Here would be by Wednesday, and you can see that we have a warm temperature still in parts of the southwest. So now we're getting up still near 120. The central column of the country is dealing with temperatures all above 90, even approaching 97, 98, even maybe up near 100 degrees. So it will be fairly warm in through the central part of the country. The east, however, and the northwest are dealing with a little bit of a chillier pattern, so it won't be as warm as the rest of the country. Here would be by Thursday, and you can see this is probably going to be one of the warmest days in the Southwest. Friday and Saturday will also be very warm for the Southwest, and I would say Thursday to Saturday is the day where the Southwest is going to be, are the days when the Southwest are going to be the warmest here. So on Thursday, we have temperatures that potentially could be getting up near 122, 123 degrees Fahrenheit at the maximum in many of these areas. So that's very, very warm. More of a widespread 115 to 120 degrees in many of these areas. And then in the central U.S., we're dealing with temperatures still getting up near 100 to 105 degrees. The east is still dealing with those below normal temperatures, as well as the northwest, but it is warming up throughout that area a little bit more. Here would be by Friday, and you can see very, very warm in the southwest. You can see those green colors really popping up, which indicates that we could have temperatures near 126 degrees. If you look at the top right hand corner where it shows the max temperature, and you can see 126 degrees throughout that area. So we could have some really, really warm temperatures. And even if you don't live in southeastern California, southern Arizona, if you live in the central valleys of California, we could even have a few temperatures getting up near 115, 120 degrees. So it's not even just isolated to this little corner of the southwest. It will be much further beyond there into areas of California, Nevada, and Arizona. So this is actually going to be over a fairly widespread area, and if you're looking at temperatures that are just going to be above 100 degrees, well, that spans anywhere from about Kansas and Oklahoma all the way as far north as maybe Idaho or Oregon. So these are going to be really, really widespread areas of 100 degrees plus, and again, it's going to be quite significant because of how widespread it is, and also because of how severe these warm temperatures will be. And then by Saturday, you can see still very, very warm, not as warm in many of these areas, but still very warm in the southwest, and it's actually warming up a little bit more in the central part of the country. Looking at the 6 to 10 day outlook from the 17th through the 21st, you can see that we have the most above normal temperatures expected out west, but you could still still be dealing with some above normal temperatures further into the central part of the country, and also even into the southeast. We're expecting below normal temperatures between the 17th and 21st through the southern plains and the Gulf Coast, and then also into the northeast. But other than that, the rest of the country is expected to be near normal or a little bit above normal. Here would be the 8 to 14 day outlook from the 19th through the 25th, and you can see that we have above normal temperatures through the west especially, and then you can see the warmer temperatures are a little bit more widespread into the eastern United States, although we still do have those two cutouts in the northeast and also along the Gulf Coast. So that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Please consider liking the video, subscribing, and turning on notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.